WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
The longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow. You know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Alongside Lucas Twitch DeSangro, I'm Fearon Derry. We are here live at the MFPW Arena, gearing up for a huge night of action later tonight, starting even earlier than usual, Lucas.
Oh, yeah. It's a fan appreciation night here at the MFPW Arena and at the MFPW. Show up, what is it, an hour later? Hour earlier, not later. I'm sorry about that. An hour earlier.
You're off to a rousing start already.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tickets open, the tickets are available at just $5 online and $10 at the door. The action starting even earlier as the doors open at 5:30 as opposed to 6 o'clock. You can play WWE 2K16 with the stars of the MFPW. Video games and wrestling, that is so up your alley.
Yeah, but I'm not one of the stars of the MFPW, so I'll probably just be behind the merchandise.
What do you mean? You're Twitch. The fans pop for you.
But I'm not advertised, so I'm not a star. Fans pop for me, but
you're still in your you haven't quite supernovaed
I'm the twinkle
yet.
Twinkle little star of the MFPW. Is that what you're saying?
I apparently didn't have to.
Yeah.
I just let that one speak for itself.
Yeah, true.
Plus, also, this is huge. Check out the Facebook page of the MFPW to see how Pokemon Go can help you get free tickets to the MFPW for life.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun.
And explain it to me, because I'm completely lost on the whole Pokemon Go thing. I know that's going to be a whole nother show for another
I was going to say, you want me to explain? All right, I can try. So Pokemon...
No,
I was going to say, how can you wanted me to explain how you can win the lifetime tickets?
Well, no, that's what the Facebook page is for. I was just saying the whole... I did not catch the wave and buzz that is... I mean, I'm aware of it, but I'm one of, I guess, the select few who hasn't actually downloaded or played the game.
I'm also one of the select few. So it really would be the blind leading the blind.
Well, with your glasses, that's true.
Yeah, true.
Also in action tonight, Danny DeManto making his debut at the MFPW to take on Tim Hughes, making his return after quite a bit of time at
Good News user
at
Tim
Ring of
Hughes
Honor.
now.
Yeah, tough Timmy Hughes.
Back in his old
also,
stomping grounds.
I almost wish we had the Mega Power sounder. The MF Cup winners explode as Anthony Bennett faces Nick Westgate. Yeah, remember they won the MF Cup earlier this year, the tag tournament?
But why? So he's not facing LSG. Wow, that's...
things have changed around here. There's also tag action as Shaheem Ali and LSG face the Amazing Graysons. A nice young new tag team.
Yeah. Hailing from, Gotham, New York.
Mm-hmm.
I love
of course
that
you
tag
do.
team so much. For those of you that know what it's referencing, you understand why.
Yes, for those of you who don't live under a rock and are familiar with what Gotham is. Even I know
the Graysons, though, the tag team, the Amazing Graysons, what that's from. People may know what. Yeah, everybody knows Batman from.
You win this round, Trebek. Also, Rico De Luna's Beast Cartel put their tag titles on the line against former champions Paid in Full, Royal Money, and Chad Kensington.
Now this is going to be a fun
see
rematch.
if they get the PWW karma as they've been on the show. Well, actually, Royal's been on the show, and I believe Nick Camarada's been on the show, so it's a push.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So they're pretty much going to have equal karma in that. So we have no influence on the match whatsoever, basically.
It's a stalemate. It's a draw. Out.
All right, we'll call it a draw.
What?
Cody Vance also defending the MF Live Championship against Mark Bravura, and in the main event, Punisher Martinez defending the MFPW Heavyweight Championship against Mikey Webb. Very accomplished in the super time division, heavyweight division, to try to challenge for one of the few titles that he hasn't held. Former Supersonic champion on 3 occasions, former 2-time the MF Live champion, and I was going to say it came very close to acquiring the tag championship. It would make him potential, I was going to say, on the verge of being a possible Grand Slam winner.
Oh.
PW.
Well, if he were to capture, the heavyweight title,
and the heavyweight, it's halfway there.
Yeah,
it's made it to second of the 4 bases, I guess, or the second of the 4 corners if it was one of those 4 corners or strap matches, or one of those where you have to touch all 4 corners. There are numerous types of matches with that stipulation. Yeah. Anyway, it all goes down tonight at the MFPW, presented by the world-famous Monster Factory, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Doors open at 5:30, and the action starts at 7. Check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, to Twitter and Instagram, plus at monsterfactory.org, and check out past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com, and I'm sure you'll see plenty of me in the bloopers section.
Most likely me as well.
I don't know. I mean, you're maybe more lately because you're back after a fairly lengthy hiatus, but...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yes, all of that going on, plus... Well, we had the draft this past week.
Yes, we did.
Absolutely, and I felt pretty good about how our mock draft went with the first 2 picks because they lined up pretty well evenly.
Yeah.
From there, it kind of differed a little bit, but we also kind of changed things in the middle. But looking at the rosters being set, so in order of draft on the Raw roster, for those who missed it, Seth Rollins, Charlotte, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, The New Day, Sami Zayn, your boy, Sasha Banks, Chris Jericho, Rusev, Kevin Owens, Enzo and Cass. How you doing? The Club, The Big Show, Nia Jax getting the call up from NXT. Neville, Cesaro, Sheamus, Golden Truth, Titus O'Neil, Paige, Darren Young, Sin Cara, Jack Swagger, The Dudleys, Summer Rae, Mark Henry, Braun Strowman, Bo Dallas, The Shining Stars, Alicia Fox, Dana Brooke, and Curtis Axel. That felt like a lot just to be able to say. Now, the Raw roster is larger because with the 3 hours, they got 3 picks to every 2 for SmackDown. So a smaller roster for SmackDown, but by no means less mighty, as you've got Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, John Cena, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Becky Lynch, The Miz, Baron Corbin, American Alpha getting the call up, Chad Gable and Jason Gordon. Also Dolph Ziggler, Natalia, Alberto Del Rio, The Usos, Kane, Kalisto, Naomi, The Ascension, Zack Ryder, Apollo Crews, Alexa Bliss, Breezango, Brie, The Vaudevillains, Raleigh, and Carmella. Is it to ours? Not even a little bit, but at least the first 2 picks looked pretty good.
So, wasn't drafted?
That looks to be the case. Maybe
and Heath Slater wasn't drafted? What's the deal with this?
Well, they actually made note of that, and apparently Heath Slater is a self-professed free agent. So we'll kind of see where that goes, considering the other social outcasts have found respective homes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you want to talk about they have like just people that I don't know, maybe it's just me. I just feel like the Raw roster is a lot more stacked than SmackDown's.
Well, yeah, it's
not the number of people, but the
you
quality.
Mean you're looking at the quality.
Let's put it this way.
So you think they have quality and quantity?
Yeah, because let's put it this way. You want to talk about people that, people come to see a draw. And I'm not knocking any other of the performers. I'm not saying or any of the wrestlers, sorry. Yeah, broke kayfabe. I get it. I don't want to knock anybody else because everybody on this roster is talented. But you want to talk about people who pay money to see 15 on Raw, 5 on SmackDown. That
in your eyes. I mean, we're not going to name and debate and all. And
it's just, it seems Raw against SmackDown. I mean, no, it's a good thing, though, that Cena, and I'm glad because the first 4-5 picks were very smart because it brings legitimacy to SmackDown.
it does.
It just, I really want SmackDown to succeed, pretty much.
Well, so does WWE.
Yeah.
You would think that they wouldn't want it to fail. I mean,
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that. It's just,
we're not going to get a new era of SmackDown just to have it go the way of the World Bodybuilding Federation. And don't don't do it.
All
I
right.
knew exactly where you were going. Don't.
Where I was going to go.
Nice try.
Yeah, no, just something, just food for thought.
Settle down there, Helium Vince.
Just food for thought, just.
But along with the new rosters, also comes a new set of broadcast teams.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this, too.
Yeah, calling WWE superstars would be Tom Phillips and Corey Graves.
Ooh.
Main event will have Phillips along with David Otunga.
Otunga. Welcome back. Like, was he still with them, just not, like, as a talent, or?
I'm not sure what his exact was. Maybe he was trying to rehab an injury, possibly.
I didn't know he was, like, I follow him on Instagram. He's also, like, a personal trainer. So maybe that's what he was doing, but he was still under contract. Like, there was never anything about him being released, so.
Well, and now on both SmackDown and Raw are three-man teams. The SmackDown three-man team, Mauro Ranallo, JBL, and Otunga. Yeah, Otunga's going to be a part of the SmackDown broadcast team.
Yes. Oh, no, Graves is going to be on Raw.
Yes, that was going to be my next point. Yeah, calling Raw is going to be Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton.
Yeah.
So a bit of a shakeup. Now, you're probably wondering, where's the King fit into all this? What happened to Jerry Lawler? Well, don't worry. He hasn't been future endeavored or suspended again or anything of that nature. He's going to be serving as an analyst along with Booker T on the pre-shows and kickoff specials.
Yeah. I always liked King on commentary. It sort of bothers me that, like, especially when he's on all the pay-per-views, too, like.
In fairness, I mean, his role has kind of diminished over the course of the last few years. I mean, he's been pretty much a stalwart in the commentator's booth for the last 20-plus years.
Yeah. You want to talk about...
Probably, I mean, consistently, I'd say since 96. So, yeah, 20 years.
You want to talk about, like, my dream three-man commentary team? Although it would pretty much just be everybody. Ranallo, Joey Styles, and Jim Ross.
Three play guys together.
Okay, maybe I didn't think it through as much, but okay, that fine. Morrow, Graves, and Styles, maybe.
Go back to the drawing board and come back to me later with it. How about that? Not that I meant to completely take the...
I don't know who the third man is supposed to be on a commentary team. Who's supposed to be play-by-play? Who's supposed to be color? And who's just there making comments?
I don't know. The bigger question as far as the third man is, but whose side is he on? Hulk Hogan Bash at the Beach in 96. That was
great.
Yeah, the anniversary. 20 years almost 2 years before we were born, but I don't know.
It's an iconic event in wrestling, though. Like, if you don't talk about that as a...
Okay. Let's see about that here. Apparently some connection issues here. See if I can straighten that out here as we talk. Actually, we need to throw things back to the studio anyway, so I think we'll take care of that and figure out what's going on with the connective issues at the same time here. So we'll take that back to Ted Efaw back in the studio. Billionaire Ted Efaw back after a couple weeks off. Good to have him back. And we'll be back here at the MFPW Arena with more fun stuff to talk about, including our predictions certain to go wrong for the Battleground pay-per-view coming up. More news and notes as well. In fact, that's right. Money and members being discussed this Thursday, and several legends joining the head trauma lawsuit against WWE. All that and a bunch more. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Deal with our household stuff. Maybe you're moving, downsizing, selling an estate, or simply trying to empty out the basement, garage, or attic. You may wonder what your stuff is worth. Who do you call? The home downsizing expert, Michael Ivankovich, is who to call at 215-345-6094. Mike will identify your items of value, sort them out, sell what needs to be sold, and even help you with the donation process or get your junk to the dumpster. Give him a call today at 215-345-6094 or visit his website at michaelivankovichappraisals.com. That number again, 215-345-6094.
Play Fabulous $500, the new instant game from the Pennsylvania Lottery with 10 top prizes of $100,000. Pick up a game today. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. The Pennsylvania Lottery again generated more than $1 billion last year for programs that benefit older Pennsylvanians. Visit PALottery.com for more details.
Tune in Sundays at 11 a.m. to A Time in the Chapel, a service of Chapel Ministries on WBCB 1490 AM.
Hi, this is Smiling Lou Powers, here to invite you to join us every Wednesday as we broadcast Sunshine Music Memories live from the Philadelphia Protestant Home in the Northeast. We'll be playing the music that you remember in a setting you will love. Philadelphia Protestant Home is located at 6500 Tabor Road in the Northeast. And Gabe Martini and I will be there live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. till noon. Come out and listen, dance, and make some new friends. Sunshine Music Memories live from the Philadelphia Protestant Home every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Hello, this is Karen Murphy, Secretary of the Department of Health.
And I'm Environmental Protection Acting Secretary Patrick McDonald with an important message about the Zika virus.
The best way for you to prevent Zika is to avoid mosquito bites, especially if you're pregnant.
Use insect repellent on your skin and clothing.
And when outdoors, cover up with loose, light-colored clothing. To learn more, visit zika.pa.gov.
Brought to you by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Tom Wolf, Governor. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro here from the MFPW Arena, gearing up for a huge event later tonight where Punisher Martinez defends the MFPW Heavyweight Championship against Mikey Webb, former three-time Supersonic champion.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a great match.
And the doors open at 5:30 because it's Fan Appreciation Night, so an extra half hour to take in all the action. There'll be WWE 2K16 that you'll be able to play, and then also the Pokemon Go, which has become all the rage for the kids and grown-ups everywhere. Pokemon Go will be able to help you win free tickets to the MFPW for life. Go to the Facebook page to find out more about that. That's the MFPW Facebook fan page there, and you'll be able to get more info on that and all of their stuff here at the MFPW. As far as info, well, just the things in general, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. At least bad if you're one Brock Lesnar. UFC has announced that Brock Lesnar failed a second anti-doping test issued by USADA on the day of his UFC 200 fight a couple of weeks ago. I know we talked last week about the one prior, but the statement from UFC saying, quote, the UFC organization was notified today that the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, or USADA, has informed Brock Lesnar that his in-competition sample collection from July 9th, 2016 at UFC 200 has tested positive for the same substance as his previously announced out-of-competition collection on June 28th, 2016. USADA, the independent administrator of the UFC anti-doping policy, will handle the results management and appropriate adjudication of this case. It's getting really legalese now, isn't it? It is important to note that under the UFC anti-doping policy, there is a full, fair legal review process that is afforded to all athletes before any sanctions are imposed. The Nevada State Athletic Commission also retains jurisdiction over this matter as the sample collection was performed at UFC 200 in Las Vegas. Consistent with all previous potential anti-doping violations, additional information will be provided at the appropriate time as the process moves forward.
I just want to know, so wait, the results came back the day of UFC 200, or they decided to test him the day of UFC 200?
Well, they tested him before on June 28th, and I guess the test results of that came back a couple of days after, I want to say like June or July 12th, a couple of days after the fight. They tested him again the day of the fight. The results of that came back this past week, and they both tested positive for the same substance.
But what good does it do to test him the day of the fight? Because even if you don't, let's put it this way, if you don't want him to compete because he failed a doping allegation, or like failed a doping test or whatever, something like that.
Or violated an anti-doping policy, yeah.
Yeah, yes. If he violated an anti-doping policy, why would you test him if he's going to get in the octagon that day? That doesn't do any good. But way I understand that. The way I see it is I feel like Dana White didn't want to pull any more matches off the card.
I think that's a little bit of what it is that you have the match heavily advertised. I mean, you already had, and we discussed it
McGregor
a couple of weeks ago. Or did we discuss it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Last week. It was McGregor.
No, we discussed it 2 weeks ago leading into UFC 200. We were at the hometown deli. We were discussing, that McGregor was out.
And Cormier was out as well.
Yeah, Cormier was out, and then the whole thing with John Bones Jones.
Well, no, John Bones Jones and Cormier was out, but John Bones Jones still faced Silva. But that's like one of those things, it's a last-minute thing. It's a last-minute fight. There's not really...
Cormier faced Silva.
Yeah, Cormier faced Silva.
You said Jones. Jones was the one who was...
I'm sorry.
You're more backwards than usual today.
Yeah. But yeah.
Don't worry, only 33 more minutes to go, buddy.
Cormier faced
Don't worry about
Silva, and it's a marquee matchup, but there wasn't really a lot of time to get hyped about it.
True, but removing Lesnar from this milestone event would have really felt like significantly damaged the product, and they figured whatever sanctions they could impose would be done afterward, but that way it wouldn't hurt the gate coming in. And again, Lesnar's an attraction, so I don't know if there was some sort of timing associated with it. There were some conspiracy theorists out there who were thinking that. It's kind of hard to say, though.
The thing is, with me, I just don't feel like... He said he wouldn't... He said nothing's impossible when they asked would he come back. But I feel like it was just... I wanted to get my one-off, my one-off fight in the UFC. Mm-hmm. And then, I love WWE's response, which was like, hey, thanks for advertising our stuff, but not our problem. He's not going to be... He's going to be clean by the time SummerSlam hits, so we're not.
Oh, you think
that's really what it was? It's like they pretty much said Brock Lesnar hasn't competed with us since WrestleMania. He will be back at SummerSlam, which pretty much means thanks for the advertising money. Not our problem. He'll be clean by then, man.
Oof.
That's the way I'm reading it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I actually think it's hilarious, and it's actually fun. Actually, good on WWE for that.
Oh, absolutely. Taking a look at the Facebook fan page here, a couple of things. Joseph chiming in, holy comic book reference, Batman, with your Grayson's thing from earlier. Yeah. Also want to thank Sean for checking us out on the TuneIn app. Yeah. That's something that can be done. And Joseph also saying, giving a little background, David Otunga had been doing Raw pre-shows up until a few weeks ago. So Otunga's been around. He just hasn't been.
I keep forgetting that the Raw pre-show is still a thing. Not like as a knock. I forget. Like, oh wait, that is. Oh yeah, that's because the thing is they stopped doing the Raw fallouts. Like the after shows. So I thought maybe they stopped doing the pre-shows as well.
Sean chiming in, it doesn't make the show worse. Unfortunately, it doesn't make it any better either. Referring to the TuneIn app.
Yeah.
That's all right. Lucas has a deleterious effect. No, I shouldn't say that. Probably because he doesn't know what deleterious means, but he is so grimacing at me right now.
Just get on with what you're going to say, Fearon. Get on with it.
Get on with it. Lucas has a notable effect on the show. We'll leave it at that.
I think that's the best way to put it, actually.
Yes, there's pretty much no question to that. Taking a look at some other news and fallout from the draft, ESPN's WWE segment now moving to Wednesday nights due to SmackDown airing live at the time the WWE segment was airing, and why cross promote if it's going on at the exact same time. Of course, Jonathan Coachman has been hosting the segments. The former WWE announcer turned ESPN sports analyst, caster.
I was going to say, where's Todd Grisham in all this? You would think he'd also want to be a part of this as well, but does he not want anything to do with the...
I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for Todd. I would imagine maybe he went to ESPN to kind of
move on from that.
Yeah, branch off in a different direction. Meanwhile, Jonathan Coachman kind of knows that that's been something that's been heavily associated with him for a long period of time.
Yeah, the coach.
Yeah, he I guess had more of an on-screen role than Grisham did, so he's a little bit more recognizable. So he's kind of the ESPN face of the WWE.
Yeah. Which is nice. Like, my dad will be watching and be like, hey, Luke, the so-and-so's on TV. I'm like, oh, I know. Watching it out here, but I'll watch it with my dad. It's a bonding time for me, another bonding time with me and my father that we don't always get to have, so it's nice. But now the trainings are on Tuesday nights, I don't get to, whatever. I don't...
So I was going to take it in a very, very dark direction, but I'll save that for the next commercial.
I mean,
break.
what else is no?
What, taking things in a dark direction?
Yeah. At least not on the air, but... No, okay. Let's just, let's go to the next story.
I love how you're all of a sudden, like, technical director for this. Like, all right, dump out of this, get to this, take this.
It's because I realized right now that it's not going well for me.
Well, I guess acceptance is the first step to recovery.
Admission
is the first step to recovery. Something like that.
Yeah.
I was confusing my 5 stages of grief and my first stage of recovery.
Yeah?
I'm going to say, for you, usually it's denial more so than anything.
Well, that's
That's
first.
not true.
Yeah, no, that's the first step of grieving, and then second step is anger. Third, whatever.
Yeah, that's usually where I'm at with you. That second step.
Yeah.
Or bargaining just to get you to, fall in line for a change.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're right. You no good bleepity bleep bleep.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, very good. All right. In other news, since Lucas is just seething over here next to me. WWE announcing that they will release their second quarter financial report this Thursday, July 28th. Vince McMahon and WWE CFO, Chief Financial Officer George Barrios, will host a conference call the same morning regarding the second quarter numbers, and they're also expected to release their network subscriber count. Which it's interesting to see. The last time they did so was the day after WrestleMania, where they pretty much had peak numbers.
Well,
so
yeah, that was
So I guess the question is, will those numbers hold? Will they drop a bit? Will they drop a lot?
You would hope that they would hold or even go up significantly,
Yes, but on the same token, the other issue you have to look at is, WrestleMania, it's like the big build. That's like saying you have more people watching NFL stuff here in kind of the off season.
Well, WWE doesn't have an off season.
No, they don't. But that's like saying, oh, look, viewership to the NFL went up because of training camp.
I wouldn't say compared to that, but yeah, it's you want wrestling as a whole to have, a high. You want the network
an
to
upward
hold
trend.
Yeah, an upward trend. You want to have it going up, not just going up, down, stalling a little bit, then down, and you want to have it just keep.
Yeah, you don't want the roller coaster ride.
You want the prices right, just you want that. You want that guy. Yeah.
Was it the Cliffhangers game? Is that what you were trying to go for there?
Yeah, the price is right. Yeah, you don't want bum, 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 bow. Ow. That was my arm. That was my arm.
Oh. Yeah, so you pretty much did that to yourself there, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
As you were... Good job. can't take you anywhere. I think this is what you were looking for.
Yes, that is what I was going for. That's what I did until my arm cracked, and that was the only thing that was different from it.
Well, and the tonality, too.
Yeah.
Hates me so much right now.
Let's just keep going.
Just I can feel the hate.
I am bombing right now. Can we please keep going to the next story?
Embracing the hate like came with Cena back in the...
You're right, I am. Somebody's about to get chokeslammed, too. Please, let's go to the next story, because
let's see here. Joseph chiming in, he said, up, up, down, down. Which, isn't that Kofi Kingston?
No, Xavier
Woods'
yeah.
One of those New Day guys. Well, no, I know that Kofi Kingston
I want to make a joke so bad right now, but I can't. I don't know if I can.
Kick us off the air.
That's pretty much, I don't know if I can, so I'm not going to do it.
I was going to say, I remember from interviewing Kofi Kingston a few years ago that I know he's a big video game guy as well. So that's, in this case, why I confused the two. I will admit that I don't have a lot of opportunities to watch the wrestling video game podcast known as Up, Up, Down, Down that Xavier Woods is.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely. No, I understand. But it's just like, there's a difference between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston and Big E and all that. It's just...
Absolutely. Which to answer your previous question, the answer would be no to that. The question that was written down because he wasn't sure if he could ask it aloud.
Yeah.
See, you give me crap for breaking kayfabe.
No, you give me crap.
I give you crap for doing it. See, so there, I did it too. Anyway. I say it's about time we take things back to the studio.
Yeah, no, I'd say that's perfect.
But before we do so, you know what time it is.
Time to talk about your favorite beer spot.
Of course, fresh on the heels of Goblet Stock, another bottle release at the Broken Goblet Brewery at 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. That's right. This Friday, July 29th, B-Gob is proud to release Diane, their tribute beer to Twin Peaks. I feel like there's a joke there to be made somewhere, but I'll admit that my knowledge of Twin Peaks is pretty much none whatsoever. Very minimal.
Yeah. No, I don't really know that much about Twin Peaks. I just tried to put two and two together, and I think if that's where they're going, that's hilarious.
Well, Twin Peaks, I know, was a sitcom back in the day. That was,
yeah.
I want to say in the late 80s or early 90s. I don't know. I may have to defer to Ted on this one. Thinks it was the 80s. Okay. Maybe I'll look it up a little bit later or something because, again, my knowledge is minimal. But I guess Ted didn't watch it either. But this 6.5% coffee stout was brewed in collaboration with Calm Waters Coffee Roasters in Bristol, PA, and features their gourmet whole bean Guatemalan coffee to create a bitter black coffee stout. Sounds interesting. Plus, featured on tap at the Goblet is the anniversary beer called Fools and Kings Belgian Double. And in the fallout from Goblet Stock, look for some keg kicker sales with $1 off pours of surprise kegs.
It's like a mystery grab bag for booze.
A little bit,
so like on Pro Wrestling Tees, it's like, hey, just spin the wheel. Roll the wheel, spin the dice. As I was about to say, spin the dice, because I stink. So yeah, but on a side note of the Fools and Kings, if you get a chance to see the artwork on it, it's fantastic.
Yep, and you can do so, I believe, at either brokengoblet.com or the Broken Goblet Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
I believe so, that they have both up on there. But the keg kicker sales started Wednesday with All Goblets Have Spirits. You know, that one's my favorite. And who knows what else will pop up.
Yeah, you never know. The Broken Goblet is a fantastic place. Even if you don't drink, they got hot dogs, pretzels, soda, just...
They now have, they do a lot of local things as well.
Yeah,
they've got, they have popcorn now from Bristol's Best Darn Kettle Corn.
Ooh, that sounds fantastic. They also have every now and then they have a food truck roll in.
Yeah, they certainly had those last week for Goblet Stock.
Oh, yeah.
Those, only regret is I didn't get the chance to have the hop fries.
Yeah, I actually wanted to try those too, but I never got the chance to.
Yeah, that downpour in the middle of the day probably didn't help matters.
Yeah.
But it was a fun night nonetheless. As I was saying, I know that it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. That's Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Anyway, we're going to... I love how you still... I love all that these line. All these months later, you still...
Pop for it?
Yeah, you still pop for that line.
The semi-official. Yeah, I think for some reason, it gives me joy to hear that line. Semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. It's right. It just seems something that's in our alley, and the Goblets too. It's like, we don't want to make anything official, but yeah, sure, talk about us a little bit, and we'll be like, oh, well, we'd love to.
And there you go. Well, we're going to go ahead and throw things back to the studio. Ted Efaw turning the dials and pushing the buttons, or as Lucas would say, turning the buttons and pushing the dials.
Yeah. Wait, you don't push dials? What?
Well, you tried to here earlier, and that didn't exactly work out so well for you.
That is semi-unofficial.
Semi-unofficial?
Yeah.
Kind of like your status on this show. All right, let's throw things back to the studio and Ted Efaw. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
All of your favorite shops are still open while the new Dion Square is under construction. You may have already visited the brand new First National Bank branch or the new Pat Dion Beverages. When all the work is done, the new beautiful Dion Square will also feature a new Pennsylvania fine wine and spirits shop and a brand new CVS pharmacy. In the meantime, all of the shops are open for business while the new Dion Square takes shape. 518 South Oxford Valley Road in Fairless Hills.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, and we're celebrating the summer of shellfish. Celebrating items that made us famous. Our bread-dipping good crabs, delicious hard shell, Dungeness, and snow crabs. Our mouth-watering mussels, red or white, succulent shrimp, clams, oysters, and much more. Plus, special creations just for the summer of shellfish.
Every Sunday, enjoy mouth-watering crabs and spaghetti. And every Monday, enjoy piping hot, delicious family-sized mussels at all participating locations. Click chickiesandpete's.com.
Featuring something special every day. It's the summer of shellfish.
All commentators heard on WBCB expressed their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management. Being there matters, and your Navy protects and defends America on the world's oceans. Around the globe, around the clock, Navy ships, submarines, aircraft, and most importantly, tens of thousands of America's finest young men and women are ready to defend America. When piracy threatens global commerce, when disaster strikes, or when called upon by the Commander-in-Chief, your Navy is there. When it comes to protecting and defending America, being there matters, and America's Navy is already there.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
Ryan Westbrook here to tell you about my good friends over at Golden Nugget Jewelers. Just because I used to leave it all in the field doesn't mean you have to leave all your money at the register to get her that special engagement ring. Head on over to Golden Nugget Showroom on the corner of 8th and Chestnut to get treated like a Hall of Famer. They've got the best selection of loose diamonds, the best prices, and lifetime guarantees. But what really sets Golden Nugget apart is the family-owned, friendly atmosphere. Golden Nugget Jewelers. It's where Philly gets engaged.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, July 23. On this date in 1989, the NWA held its Great American Bash pay-per-view. In the main event, Ric Flair pinned Terry Funk to retain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 1995, the WWF held its In Your House 2 The Lumberjacks pay-per-view. In the main event, Diesel pinned Psycho Sid in a lumberjack match to retain the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2000, WWF held its Fully Loaded pay-per-view. In the main event, The Rock pinned Chris Benoit to retain the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2006, the WWE held its Great American Bash pay-per-view. In the main event, King Booker pinned Rey Mysterio to win the World Heavyweight Championship. This has been Today in Wrestling History, July 23.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon alongside Lucas DeSangro, talking all kinds of stuff in wrestling here. News,
at least I'm attempting to talk about all kinds of stuff in wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, you might be talking a little backwards, but
I sound like Dusty Rhodes on commentary in WCW.
I was going to say, I don't remember hearing you mention anything about the pay window yet.
Nothing like that, just Thunny Bono instead of or something like that. Just like he made that mistake. It was a Japanese wrestler. It was like Starrcade 95, I think. Yeah, Starrcade 95, and he called Sonny.
Did he say call Sonny Ono, Sonny Bono?
Yeah, called Sonny Ono, Sonny Bono, and it's like, oh, I didn't know Cher was in the building. Thank God Heenan was on commentary at that point. That was great.
Yeah, that would not have gone over well. Anyway, something else that doesn't appear to be going over well, a potential lawsuit. Did you hear about this?
Oh, boy.
I guess that's a yes. WWE is being sued on behalf of Jimmy Snuka, Road Warrior Animal, and King Kong Bundy, and several additional wrestlers over head trauma issues. Yeah, I know. I feel like my drop of, are we going to get into that controversy again, would fit here perfectly.
It's like a broken record, just over and over and over. Is it the same lawyer?
Well, that's, I was going to say, I'll get into that in a second. WWE is accused of failing to care for the repeated head injuries. WWE, you want to hear WWE's statement on the matter?
I would love to hear WWE's statement.
Oh, this is fantastic. It says, quote, "This is another ridiculous attempt by the same attorney who has previously filed class action lawsuits against WWE, both of which have been dismissed. A federal judge has already found that this lawyer made patently false allegations about WWE, and this is more of the same. We're confident that this lawsuit will suffer the same fate as his prior attempts and be dismissed."
Which is their professional way of like, not this bleep again. Really?
Yeah, kinda.
Like,
yeah.
Stay down, man. Come on.
Well, I guess maybe he figures if more people supposedly step up, that'll help matters. But, I mean, other wrestlers named on this long list of plaintiffs reportedly includes Paul Orndorff.
See, that in Road Warrior Animal. Those are the ones that shocked me, that surprised me the most out of these two, because I thought they've
gotten along amiably with WWE. That's what I thought too. Then again, this says reportedly, so I don't know how true it is.
And now, are people suing? Because I'm looking at the list. Are people suing because of their injuries or on behalf of other people? Because
it's a class action suit, so it's just as many people who say, yeah, I kind of got hurt by them for a little, they're adding into it. So other names include Chavo Guerrero Sr., Chavo Classic, Chavo Guerrero Jr.,
which is why I asked the previous question.
Mm-hmm. Brian Clark, who you might remember way back in the day as Adam Bomb.
I do now.
And
from 3 Mile Island, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. And also briefly known in WW, I think it was still WWF at the time, as Chronic, one half of Chronic, along with Brian Adams.
I do remember that.
It was, kind of in that.
Thought that was WCW when Doink Bra, or not Doink, sorry, Crush Bra was Kush or something like that, or?
Well, no, Crush was, it was Crush and Brian Clark. They were the tag team Chronic when WCW bought.
Chronic, that was the name of the tag team.
Yes. Gotcha. Speaking of tag teams, one half of the challengers for the tag championship going on later tonight here at the MFPW, Royal Money, making his way in, getting some early preparations in. A huge task ahead of him as he takes on the team that beat him and partner Chad Kensington not too long ago for those tag titles, the Beast Cartel, headed by Rico de la Vega. Oh, okay.
They're doing the Freebird rule with this.
Okay, we just found out that apparently some inside information that Kyle the Beast, the Beast Cartel in general, defending the titles under the Freebird rule, or the New Day rule, or the Spirit Squad rule, depending on your...
It's the Freebird rule.
Okay, it's the Freebird rule. Just me, trying to be a Richard wherever I can.
Oh, I know.
Oh, boy,
As of this broadcast, just like, I'm trying to move on, you got to make it painful. Thank you very much.
Was that your Twitch that caused the
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. They call me Mr. Fantastic. Call me Fantastic. I don't want to sing the rest of this song I just made up.
Wow, I'm starting to get legitimately concerned about you.
Why was I? What?
About your health and well-being. I think you've driven yourself loopy here.
Yeah. But what else is new? Come on, who else is on this?
You're more of a loony than the Canadian dollar coin of the same name.
I'm more loony than the tunes. Anyway,
well, you're more of a toonie than the $2 Canadian coin of the same name. Hoser. Anyway, yes, other wrestlers named on the long list of plaintiffs: Brian Clark, as we mentioned, Ahmed Johnson, Kamala.
That one I sort of understand. Not from head injuries, but other.
Yeah, Ken Patera. Ken Patera. He was I want to say an Olympic wrestler turned pro wrestler, or Olympic powerlifter turned pro wrestler. I was going to say he was around in the mid '80s. I want to say was his run. Just off the, I think that's kind of right off the top of my head. I'm sure somebody's going to correct me and be like, no, he did this instead. But yeah, his I guess claim to fame was Olympic. Yeah, he was an Olympic weightlifter and strongman competitor, and was brought in to wrestling basically kind of like Mark Henry after his
yes
yeah his strongman actual lifting days. He kind of took that in and wrestled for quite a while for the WWF in the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, he did all right. He won the Intercontinental Championship once.
Well, that's good. Sabu is also on the list.
Yeah, I mentioned Sabu. Axe and Smash of Demolition.
That one's another a little bit surprising to me. But.
John Nord, better known as the Barbarian, or not the Barbarian, the Berserker. Us. Jim Brunzell, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell of the Killer Bees. Also Marty Jannetty. John Heidenreich. Okay, you just lost your mind on that one. The Warlord, the Barbarian, Slick, One Man Gang, and referees Dave and Earl Hebner. And Lucas is beside himself.
Just, yeah, I'm not. Whatever I have to say about this, I'm not allowed to say. So just.
Okay, so we're moving on. Got it.
Scoot on by.
Also, Nikki Bella updated her Twitter followers on her health this past Thursday, tweeting, quote, "Good news from the doc, next stop." And then she had a picture of the numerous rings in the WWE Performance Center in Orlando.
Yeah. No, it's great. I'm glad that it's good to see that we have another addition to the women's roster. As soon as she comes back, I'm wondering where she's going to go though.
Well, I guess she's another one of those free agents, kind of like Heath Slater.
Yeah.
And finally, as far as news, WWE's Ava Marie has been named one of the judges of the Miss Teen Universe competition being held next Saturday at the Venetian in Las Vegas. The press release for the event also announced that Tap Out will supply the athletic gear that, much to your dismay, will replace the swimsuit competition.
I don't watch the competitions, though. I'm not, let's put it this way. I don't watch the beauty pageants. To an extent, I have no problem with people that compete in them. But,
I was going to say, one of them's here on the roster at the MFPW, so be careful.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, I'm not going to get
the beauty queen.
I'm not saying, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Those kind of pageants.
I know. I was just painting you into a Jerry Lawler-esque corner.
Right. I was going to say, let's put it this way. The one thing I despise about those pageants is the show Toddlers and Tiaras, and that's about it. Oh.
All right. Also, I was going to say, we've got just enough time for our predictions certain to go wrong. You were hoping that I was going to lead you in for, no, that's coming up in about 5 minutes or so. Yeah. But we've got the Battleground lineup, predictions certain to go wrong. Looks like we've got 9 matches on the card, including the one pre-show kickoff match, which we'll start off with that. The Usos against Breezango, Fandango, and Tyler Breeze.
Usos.
I'm kind of going with you on that. I thought they can't possibly. Oh, okay. There's some preparations going on in the background. Danny Cage, the owner and commissioner of the MFPW, in the background. I was gonna say we're on delay, right? No.
Ted Evil almost.
Yeah, it's fine. He knows better with these things. Let's go to the ladies. Becky Lynch against Natalya.
Last kicker all the way.
I had a hunch that's where you were going. Just to be different, I'm going to go with Natalya. Because I had a hunch. I knew right away you were going to go. I'm going with my head instead of my heart. Or your heart.
I'm going with my head.
You're going with your head?
I feel like it would make sense considering Natalya's going to be on Monday Night Raw. It's good.
Well, I don't know. This is, I guess, are they establishing what's going on as far as the different rosters? I mean, this is kind of a.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is a weird gray area.
True. I'm not sure. I would think that Becky Lynch would win, but I think wrong a lot of the time. So.
You're only 3 picks behind me in the predictions certain to go wrong, so you're only slightly more wrong than I am.
True.
Only slightly. Rusev against Zack Ryder for the U.S. title.
See, I was going to go with Zack Ryder at first, but I feel like he will win, just not this time. So I feel like Rusev is going to win.
I'm agreeing with you that Rusev crush, basically. That's where I'm thinking here. And in a similar mid-card title, The Miz defending the Intercontinental Championship against Darren Young. Will he be made great again?
I'm going to say I feel like Darren Young is going to win the Intercontinental title. It just seems he's been on fire as of late, especially with Bob Backlund at his side. It's just...
It's hard to pick against... Well, I was going to say, The Miz and Maurice in general. I feel like Maurice will be enough of a factor to potentially distract whatever force there is on the outside with Bob Backlund.
I was going to say, I don't think she's going to have a problem, distracting Darren Young, but that's just me.
Wow, you went there. Wow, you went there. Okay, we're moving on real quickly here.
Wow.
Sasha Banks and a mystery partner.
I'm going to say Sasha
against Charlotte and Dana Brooke.
Sasha Banks, and I'm going to predict that the mystery partner will be Bayley.
That's what a lot of people are thinking, although some people put the outside shot that maybe it'll be Nikki Bella.
I wouldn't put that past them. That would be pretty cool as well, but I'm going to say Sasha Banks and whoever she
Sasha and whoever the mystery partner is. Gotcha.
I'd like to think I'd get like a bonus point though if it is Bayley. But that's just me.
Oh goodness. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Sami Zayn.
I'm going with Owens just because I feel like, well, they did say this was going to be the last.
Yes,
but they're on the same roster. So
but every single time that Sami Zayn and Owens have fought, Owens has won. So I feel like they need to put.
I don't know. Is this where he gets the win here, though?
I would hope. If this is the last time they fight and it's not going to be at SummerSlam, then.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It leads to the Zayn finally conquering at SummerSlam. But
why would they say this is the final encounter and then they go, oh no, this is the final encounter?
To take your money. No, I don't know. I'm going with Zayn on that. All right. New Day and Wyatt family.
I'm going to say the Wyatt family.
I'm going to say New Day. Oh boy, Cena, Enzo, and Cass against the Club.
Cena, Enzo, and Cass.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm right with you on that.
How you doing?
And then the big one, the triple threat match: Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and that Roman fella for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
I think it's Ambrose, but not just because
it's not just because he's your boy. No,
I was going to say it might be either Ambrose or Rollins. If they put, I don't know if it's a good move to have Roman go over this time.
Oh goodness, Joseph, quickly, I have just a second here to chime in on this. Joseph, chime in. Ava Marie at the Venetian. Are they blind? See what I did there? All righty. We've got like almost no time for
birthdays.
Yeah, we got to go real quick here. On this date in 1960, Al Perez was born. The journeyman wrestler best known in world-class championship wrestling as the Latin Heartthrob turns 56 today. On this date in 1974, Sonny Siaki was born. The former TNA X Division champion from early NWA TNA turns 42 today. And on this date in 1979, Pedro Aguayo Ramirez was born. The former luchador and promoter known as Pedro Aguayo Jr. died in March of last year during a wrestling match in Tijuana, Mexico at the age of 35. That's going to do it for us here. Come on down to the MFPW tonight. Doors open at 5:30. We'll be back next week from somewhere. We got to figure that out still. We might be down at the shore. Not quite sure yet. Until then, play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock in Oswego.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB.